Watch Wisconsin closely Saturday.
Yeah, we
Just watch a little bit of the game, so we didn't have any of the game plan in obviously yet. But watching them, they're a big physical team. They're really good up front. Like they're a good team, so we're excited for the challenge.
You've had success against some pretty good backs, Walker, Anderson a couple weeks ago. I mean, what kind of challenge does Allen bring to you guys' defense? They're running that.
I mean, he's a really good back. I mean, there's not very many bad backs in the Big Ten, so it's every week where it seems like we're going up against like fifth in the nation in rushing, like whatever the deal is. So we've gone up against really good backs this year, and we're just ready for another one. So he's a good back too. So
Luke, I know that you didn't play a ton in 2019, because there were other guys here, but you guys have made a huge jump from 2019 to 2020 and from 2020 to 2021 in your run defense. Why? Why have you guys gotten so much better against them?
I just think we know the system as a whole collective group a lot better than what we did in 2019, and so that just allows us to play faster. When you're not like slow processing things, you can play football and you can really cut it loose. And I think that's what our defense has done a really good job this year of, like, all levels. We know the defense pretty well, and so we're just running around fast and getting to our spots.
Outside of knowledge of the system, what would you say is the really key thing in executing what you guys do on defense to stop the run? Like, if you were going to say, this is the thing that makes us good at run defense, and when we don't do it, we're not very good.
Violence. I mean, you have to be extremely violent in the Big Ten, and it starts with defensive line and linebackers. You just have to be extremely violent up front, and even if you're wrong in your call, like if you're violent, you're not going to be wrong. So I think that's the biggest like mental side that you have to do to be a good rush defense.
In a football sense, what does violence mean? I mean, what are we talking about here?
I mean, it all is violence. Like, you just have to strike blocks, tackle, aggressive, and like this, just what it all comes down to. You just have to win your one-on-ones, and then just let the play go where it goes. So.
How are you seeing this week guys on the defensive side? Whether it's coaches or players, step up, maybe help fill the void that was left last week by some of the offensive staff being let go.
Yeah, we talked about it as a position group. You just have to like basically bring those guys up that lost their position coaches, because all those guys like their position coach and stuff. So it's tough for everybody, especially guys that lost their position coach. They have their GAs or other coaches that are help filling that void right now. So you just have to kind of pick up those your teammates that are like they're just kind of struggling right now with that loss. So. But I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far and going forward.
See anything different from like Coach Jim's in this last week, and or Coach Rude, your guy, and just the way that they're acting around the team?
Not really. It's in the back of all of our minds, like kind of what happened and stuff. But you still have to do the job at hand. Like there's not much change on the defensive side of the ball in that aspect.
The obvious motivators are gone in terms of a bowl game and things like that. What do these next games mean to you guys in terms of finishing strong?
To finish out on a high note and pride. We've been in so many close games this year. Like, we're just so tired of losing these close games that we just want to win one. And these next two games are going to be close. Big Ten football, and it's a great opportunity for us to finish out the season on a high note, having a chance to beat two really good teams. So,
what does Ches Malusi not playing in this game, how does that change the preparation for the defense?
Not much, because they have the next guy up mentality just like us. We got to play through injuries, like JoJo's down. Like nothing really changes. You just have to keep going and prepare like you would if you was there. So,
what have you seen from like Gifford and whoever's going to fill the JoJo role to finish it?
Mm-hmm. No, Gifford, he'll be. I think he's in the number one nickel spot, but he'll do a good job. Like he works extremely hard. He knows his stuff, so he'll do really good and stuff. And whoever they bring in, if they rotate guys, so it'll be good. They'll do a really good job.
You square off against Gifford in high school?
I did not. I trained with them a little bit, but I never played them in high school.
JoJo kind of created that position for himself. Like it didn't really, I know it existed, but not in the role that it does on the defense now before he started playing it. You know, how much appreciation do you have for the job that he did, and how big are those shoes to fill?
Extremely big. JoJo was kind of the heart of that defense a little bit of Oakley, and definitely brought a big playability to the defense. So I mean, those are pretty big shoes to fill for whoever plays that nickel spot, probably Giff. Yeah, JoJo's awesome. I love him. I'm pretty bummed out that he couldn't finish out the season, and he is too. So, but it is what it is. Like, injuries happen, so we just next man up mentality.
What kind of coach has he been? I assume he's had some thoughts for you guys.
Yeah, no, he's always with us and stuff at practice. So he always gives us good advice and stuff like that. So it's good to have him around these last 2 weeks before he goes on to the next step.
Luke, you didn't play Wisconsin last year, and I believe the last trip up to Madison was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about Camp Randall Stadium and the environment there?
Nothing. I've never been there, so I'm excited to go play in a fun atmosphere. So I'm looking forward to it.
Luke, what's the difference between going up against a smaller running back against one that's 240 pounds?
I mean, you definitely have to tackle a little bit lower on those bigger guys, because if you're standing straight up, he's just gonna lower his head and knock you over. So you have to definitely bring your feet on the bigger guys, and just make sure your pad level is lower than his, or else you're just gonna lose the one-on-one on the tackle.
Anything else, Luke?